welcome to the speed addiction. I am definitely very happy to get another N54 power car, obviously very unique this time, convertible, converted to a 6-speed manual transmission, so that is very fun. Pure 600 turbos. Now I know a lot of viewers on this channel subscribe and watch this video because of 135i content and N54 content. Also, never got to put my 135i on a dyno. Oh, before we get into the review, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really supports the channel.
Hey, what's going on? My name's Chris. This is my car. It's a 2008 135i Convertible, as you can see. Has all full bolt-ons, Pure 600 turbos, at about 21 pounds of boost, E40 fuel, tuned by Pure Evil Tuning, Jason Voss. He's really knowledgeable tuner, so I went with him. Apex arcades all around, 18.5-inch front, 18x9 in the back with a ET58 in the rear and ET45 in the front with 235 fronts and 265 rears. No rubbing, it's great overall. Handles pretty well, still on stock suspension. Want to get to that eventually, but I'm kind of more focused on the straight line power. Right now I'm dynoing around 500, 510. Last time I dynoed, I was 506, 515. That was around 20 PSI. Since then, I converted from automatic to manual, 6-speed now, and upped it about a ½ pound of boost and a ½ degree of timing, so my assumption in butt dyno is about 515 or so.
Okay, so we're going to start off with a second gear pull. Let's see what it's like. Wow, so again, these Pure 600s, just like the stock turbos, but more torque and much more power all the way through. 500 horsepower to the wheels, and boy, it is fast! Stock suspension, so it's not just fast, it's wayward. That's how I call it, wayward. But the tyres grip well, and there is torque all the way through that red line, and the car is definitely fast. Well, I love the sound of the HKS blower valve. Kind of gives the car a JDM feel, a JDM sound, a JDM experience. But yeah, I love the 1 Series. A convertible is definitely a whole new experience. You can kind of feel the whole chassis swaying and moving around.
So the turbos are Pure 600s. They're the same as the Pure Stage 2 turbos, the DDs, but they are a casted manifold instead of machined. So same size compressor, same size everything as the Pure Stage 2s. They respond like stock, but pull all the way through redline, at least with the power and the tuning that I'm at. Jason Voss at Pure Evil Tuning is definitely a knowledgeable and good tuner. I haven't had any hiccups. Every time I have a question, my response is fast. He gets logs back to me and tells me what I need to do and tells me how the car is reacting, and just overall keeps the car very powerful but also very safe to make sure that I'm not going to go through motors or have any problems like that. Yeah, I make sure when I first got the car, I've had the car for about 3 years. The first thing that I did for the first 1.5 years was all the maintenance on it. Taking care of all the gaskets, taking care of all the little knickknacks, high pressure fuel pump, low pressure fuel pump, everything that kind of went wrong. Has index 12 injectors, so the car was just ready to able to handle the power. And over the past 1.5 years, I've just done all the turbos, inlets, outlets, rod bearings, rod bearing bolts. Those are all just high quality parts, and it just speaks for itself. 145,000 miles original motor, and no problems yet.
In terms of drivetrain tuning, power, the car is fantastic, but the suspension does need some work. Okay, I am going to drop it in second gear. Going to do a little pull, hold on tight. So yeah, So it's like, actually, when you first drive it, it feels like the torque is going to overwhelm the chassis, but when you stay in there, just have a bit of faith, and it does pretty well. So 4th gear, you can just ride on the torque. Brakes are pretty good. Obviously the convertible is a lot higher, a lot heavier than the coupe, but the brakes are pretty good. What pads are on it?
I have EBC red stuff paired with Zimmerman Performance rotors. Torque kicks on full boost around 3,200, 3,300, so pretty fast full for hybrid turbos, and it's just enjoyable all the way through redline. Tapers down a little bit around redline to keep it safe, like I said, but overall great car, great power. I love it.
And this car has had a manual swap, so it started off as a auto, 6-speed auto, and now it's been swapped to a manual. Tell us about that conversion. Who did it, and just tell me about the parts.
So I sourced all the parts through Straight 6 Auto Parts. They're located in Oceanside, California. They are a dismantling team that has multiple people in there that just take apart salvaged cars and just tries to scrap them for parts. I was actually able to get a very good deal through them to get every single piece needed to manual swap it. And then after I got all the pieces together, sourced the clutch, which is through FCP Euro. It's a 335 IS clutch or 550 clutch. And it has also a M factory single mass flywheel that's about 10 pounds lighter. So that flywheel keeps it rev happy, the clutch holds the power, and I had it all installed from Nico up in Riverside, who, if you don't know who he is, check out Nico 135i on Instagram, has one of the baddest 135s out there, and also is very quick and very knowledgeable with all of his mechanics. He had my car from auto to manual in less than 3 days, and haven't had a hiccup since.
Yes, it definitely blows the tyres, eh? The 265 Nitos grip pretty well. I mean, one thing about these cars with an open diff is that the car likes to pull to the left, but not this time. Love the sound of that N54. And it pulls strong, I mean, you can hear that. And you really have to think about your rhythm when getting into these corners and brake early for the corner. Well, where does it go? Wow! Woo! Let's do it again. First. Second. Up to a corner, so I'll back off early. Carry it in tight. All the way for the second. Wow. Okay, on the brakes early. A lot of chassis sway. Starting to get used to it a little more. Fast on the straight, brake in the corner, look through the corner, looks clear on the gas slowly. Here we go. Wow, these Pure 600s, let me explain them some more. They kind of feel different in a manual to an automatic. It's as if the boost is more progressive when it comes in. It kind of builds. Actually, you kind of build stronger, whereas in an automatic, it's just one big hit and then it just blows the tyres off. But this, it builds nicely. I mean, definitely, I believe the N54 is better suited to a manual. It's just sweeter. Some people like a lovely stiff ride, really flat cornering, and it gives them confidence. I understand that. Me, I'm somewhere in the middle, but I also love the challenge of being able to conquer a car that doesn't handle that well.
Yeah, it's on stock suspension for now. I'm going to be upgrading the suspension soon. When it comes to the rear wheels getting squirrely with all the power, it actually has more weight in the rear compared to a coupe, so it kind of keeps the power down a little bit better. It has some chassis flex. It is a convertible, so it's not going to be perfect around the corners, but it still is very enjoyable. And if you want to have some fun, the power and the stock suspension are going to let you have some fun.
Now I can really sense the difference between the convertible and the coupe. There's more weight. You don't necessarily feel the weight on the straights, but you can feel it on the braking, it definitely needs a lot more effort to brake. So when you're driving, you have to be mindful of your entry speed into the corner, because you can quite easily overcut the corner. So it definitely takes a very cautious driving style. But that being said, it's still fun. And let's talk about the steering. The one good thing about the 1 Series is that there's plenty of steering feel.
Very quick shout out to my tuner. Thank you for being so responsive and everything. Rush Customs, if you ever need parts through them, Rush over there in Atlanta, he's a great guy. He's the one that sourced pretty much any kind of aftermarket part for me, performance-wise. And another person is Steve Samuel. That's where I got my turbos from Euroclass. He's another great guy. If you ever need parts, definitely go through him.
So, should you put Pure 600s in your 1 Series convertible? 100%.